Anthony Davis for Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, 3 first-round picks. Anthony Davis, 6-time All-Star, making a move to Cali. Let's welcome in Charles Barkley, and let's get right down to business. Anthony Davis traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. What does that do for the balance of power out west and for the Lakers as far as making them contenders for next season?
Well, obviously it's the worst-kept secret in the history of pro sports. You knew he was going to go to the Lakers at some point. I think New Orleans did as good as they could do under the circumstances. Listen, you got LeBron, you got AD. You're in the conversation. Because this thing has just flipped on its head the last week with KD out for next year, Clay out probably for next year also. But listen, they're going to have to put some pieces around these guys. I mean, they gave up a lot, so it makes them a power player in the West. But I still like Portland. I like Denver. The Rockets are going to be right there. So this doesn't make them automatically the favorite.
You mentioned a lot of those very talented teams that, showed that they had a lot of championship prowess in the playoffs this postseason. But looking at the Lakers and thinking that they have $32 million in cap space going forward, what do you think is their biggest position of need, or what do you think they need to do to fill out the rest of this roster?
Well, they're going to need some shooting. I mean, the Lakers were the worst. I think I saw a stat. I think they were the worst three-point shooting contest team in the league. But like I say, listen, when you got Kyle Kuzma, LeBron and Anthony Davis, you can find some spare parts. There's going to be some guys who want to play in L.A., just for the lifestyle. But like I say, it doesn't make them the prohibitive favorite right off the bat. I don't believe that at all.
Chuck, with the guys they have right now, as you look at it, they have their front line, if they wanted to, in place with LeBron. He can go 3-4. Anthony Davis can go 4-5. Kuzma could go 2-3. So you could go Kuzma, LeBron, Anthony Davis up front, but their backcourt now has a ton of gaps. When you look who's out there, Kemba Walker's out there, Derrick Rose is out there. They could bring back Rajon Rondo. Bledsoe's a free agent. Kyrie is a player's option. What do you like as far as a match there for them?
Well, it's clear there's going to be some on the perimeter. They need some guards. I mean, they got no guards as we speak right now. So it's going to be interesting. This is going to be an interesting summer for the NBA. There's so many guys who on TV and radio have been lying for the last 6 months, saying wherever somebody from their camp told me they're going here, 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 or here. So it's been a lot of lying on TV and radio the last 6 months, Mike, with all these reporters making up stuff. But clearly the Lakers need some perimeter help in the guard position, a 1-2. But like I say, they got this. That doesn't mean they're going to get these guys just because they're out there. I mean, Kemba's in a unique situation. You got Jimmy Butler out there. You got Kyrie. I mean, this thing is going to be crazy for the next couple months.
Well, we've talked a lot about the Lakers. On the Pelicans side of things, clearly they got younger, and it looks like they're going into the movement of youth with Lonzo Ball. Zion Williamson sounds exciting. Brandon Ingram showed some promise this year. How do you like the pieces that they got back, particularly those draft picks, including the 4th pick in this draft?
Well, I think it's as good as they could do. I mean, I think those guys are going to play well with Zion. I'd use that 4th pick. Listen, I might probably trade Drew Holiday because he's an older guy, and we're clearly building for the future. He's a very good player, Drew Holiday is. But, you're clearly going with a youth movement. And, one guy nobody is talking about is DeAndre Hunter from Virginia. Everybody's talking about, I know Zion is going to go number 1, but after getting a chance to watch this kid play at March Madness multiple times, you think about it. Virginia had the worst upset in college basketball history last year. What was the only thing they added to the team? DeAndre Hunter. And they win the national championship, and he's the most valuable player. So all these teams out there, don't be sleeping on DeAndre Hunter. But listen, to get back to your original point, David Griffin did the best he could under the circumstances. I like where they're going. They got a bunch of good young pieces. They're building for the future. So if you're a Pelican fan, you got to be happy.
Now, switching back to the Lakers and looking at the fact that Chris Haynes reported that Anthony Davis will not sign an extension with the Lakers, as a lot of people anticipated in the original reporting. Does that surprise you a bit that he's not making that long-term commitment to the Lakers as he heads out there?
No, because what they want to keep that cap space. They go out and get another player. I mean, he's going to be their property at the end of the next year. They don't have to sign him to a long-term deal. But see, if they sign him to a long-term deal, they won't have all that cap space. So it's a great business move by the Lakers. They got Anthony Davis on the contract for 1 year, and now they still got that cap space. So that's strictly a business move by the Lakers, and it's a smart business move.
All right, I know we got you on your first weekend off after the playoffs ended. We appreciate you taking some time spending with us.
No problem, man. You guys keep up the great work. Miss y'all.
Davis, they weren't at the top of any big free agents list, but this certainly changes the dynamic of that Laker organization, changes the narrative. They've got Anthony Davis, who has said all along he plans to sign a long-term extension with the Lakers next summer when he can become a free agent.
This is very interesting. Tony and I have so many questions for you, and obviously we're going to continue to hit you with them here until 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's become the biggest story, obviously, in the sports world right now. David Griffin is now the executive vice president of the New Orleans Pelicans, had a good relationship with LeBron from his days when he ran the Cleveland Cavaliers. Do you sense in any way the insistence that Dell Demps, the fired Dell Demps, wouldn't make this move with the Lakers? The relationship that Griffin might have with the Lakers, Rich Paul, LeBron, in any way, did that allow this deal to get done more quickly?
Absolutely not, Zoo. And I think David Griffin was trying to make the best deal he could for the Pelicans. I think his focus on was maximizing the assets that they'd get in return, and L.A. was the place that they could maximize it because Davis had made it clear that's where he would resign. There were other teams interested, but the Lakers went to such lengths. There has not been a deal for a single player in this league as steep of a price as LA paid, perhaps since Carmelo Anthony deal that Masai Ujiri made with the Knicks in Denver a decade ago. There hasn't been a team that has had to give up more for a pick. So while Anthony Davis does go from New Orleans to LA, you know, they paid a price, and they're going to be certainly limited roster-wise with those draft picks. They lose, the core, very good young core there. But this is a deal LA had to make. They and they paid a steep price for it.
Well, you keep mentioning how much of a monster deal this has been, and this is. When did this all pick up steam?
They've been talking, Tony, over the last several days. I think talk picked up as we headed into the weekend, Thursday, Friday. New Orleans had wanted to get this deal done by the weekend ahead of Thursday's NBA draft. Now they've got that fourth overall pick. They've got to decide who they want to select with it. And remember, too, this deal cannot be finalized until July 1, but they will be picking on Thursday with that number 4 pick. Now the the Pelicans have some time between now and then to identify who they would like to take there, but also, they could be in marketplace to shop that pick. There are other teams who might want to move up. So this gives the Pelicans a lot of options here between now and the draft.
Well, I wanted to ask you about one person conspicuously not in this deal, and this was a guy maybe only second to Anthony Davis in this deal that was talked about more than anybody else as Pelicans and the Lakers tried to make something happen, and that is Kyle Kuzma. Again, it's Ball, Ingram, Hart, and a trio of first-round picks. Kyle Kuzma not being included in this deal tells you what from the Lakers' vantage point?
Well, they had to give up in other areas, giving up the 3 firsts, giving up Josh Hart as part of the deal, who's an outstanding rotation player for the Lakers. And, Kyle Kuzma is a very good young player, but without him in this deal, it is still substantial to New Orleans. And certainly Kuzma now will partner with James and Davis. He'll be a key part of that Laker team, but it gives a lot of flexibility financially in New Orleans. they're going to be able to, they have cap space this summer. They can go out and add to this core. They believe Zion Williamson is going to be everything that people think he's going to be, a legitimate franchise player. And the reshaping of that New Orleans franchise is just sped up by, number one, the fact that they won the lottery, but two, how much they got in this deal. But the Lakers, they wanted to hold on to Kyle Kuzma. That was important to them. They did, and certainly he's a player that can help them win now, but they gave plenty else.
Woj, thank you very much.